Thank you very much for joining us wherever you're watching us from. This is Her Story. My name is cultonscovia. Today we are in Kasangati, Wakiso District. This home belongs to Immaculate Amongin, who chose to sacrifice it to make sure that the orphans and other needy children have somewhere to call home. Her story is a testament that we cannot heal the world, but we can offer something to ensure that the less privileged also survive. Thank you for joining us.
Leta nevezo. Oh, tio. Adagala mwongereko. No. But nice. Neda ngenda kusanga woli. First go back. I'll find you. Sit down. Sit down. Sauce I put for you sauce. Okay. Bye. Hold on. Oh no, you have food. You have food. You sit down, I serve you food. You sit down. Have you got food? No? Okay. How many? Who else has not yet got? How much?
When I reached here, we were lucky enough to find you people about to have lunch. I saw how much work you really do.
Yes.
I noticed that you cannot even afford enough plates.
Yes.
To serve the food. Some had their meals in saucepans.
True.
Some, you improvise here and there.
Yes.
How is it? What motivated you to start this?
Praise God, everyone. Wherever you are watching, I'm Amongin Immaculate from Eastern Uganda. I'm 38 years old. I'm a single parent of 4 children.
Okay. And
each child with his or her own father.
Wow.
Not that I wanted it, but it is the situation that led to that. I grew up in a very difficult environment. Like right from my childhood, I was neglected by my own parents. I have a mother, I have a father, and they're all still alive.
Why did they choose to abandon you? Did they choose or the environment forced them to?
Surely speaking, those are the same questions I still ask myself. Even up to date, I ask my mother whether she is really my mother. Because right from childhood, my mother's never loved me. We are 2 children, both girls. Actually, I remember she told me we were 3, but the first one passed on.
Okay.
Then we are 2 alive. But right from childhood, she has always neglected me and isolated me. I still remember the age of 1, 2, 3. I was taken deep to the village while she was maybe in Kampala, I don't know. But where she took me, I grew up from my mother's side. She took me deep in Teso, I remember very well, where I used to stay with my uncles and grandpeople. Grandparents. Right from age 1 to 3, I was abused I mean, I was raped by the uncles, by the grandies where she took me. So when you ask me how and when this used to happen, you know, in our village, we have the fruits. I don't know how they're called in English, but in Uganda they're called enkonge. You know that fruit?
Yeah, I don't.
So in our culture there, we use whenever we are preparing porridge, or posho or our atap, we put in that enkonge. So whenever they could send those boys, they could go along with me when I was young. That was the age of between 1 and 3. I remember very well. The boys could go up, they could get those things and throw down, while me I'm picking and put in the bag, whatever I used to go with. But before they could do that, they could first use me in the bush.
Oh dear.
So that's how I grew up.
And you couldn't report to anyone?
Nothing. I was young, they could threaten me. If they could hear me do that, you know, they could go with knives. They could tell me, when you say it to anyone, we shall cut you and throw you somewhere. Nobody will even ever know your whereabouts. So I kept quiet. They did that up to the age of 5. Whenever I tried to tell her what was happening around me, she was just slapping me that I'm lying. So I grew up struggling.
That was a very violent environment.
Yeah, being raped, being misused, being abused. So when I grew up in that environment, after again that's when
Did you reconnect with your mother at any point?
She used to come, but she never used to care. She never used to give me any attention. Because even she never counted me as her daughter. Whenever she could introduce herself to the friends, she could tell them that she has one daughter, and that is Sandra, my second follower. I mean, my third follower. So me, I was a sister to her. Even up to now, she has never accepted me as her daughter.
Your mother denied?
Yes. Yes.
Why does she do that?
To tell you the truth, I don't know. You know, now I've come to realize this. I think the relationship which she had over with my dad. So I think you never know what happened between the two, because me, I don't know my dad, but all I know that he's there. You understand? So meaning, maybe my dad mistreated her, so she's trying to, whenever she sees me, she thinks of my dad. Because one thing I know about my sister, the father was rich and was a big man in the government. So there was money, there was everything, there was cars, she had escorts. So this girl grew up like a queen. So maybe that's why she, even up to date, she's cherishing her.
And she
me,
takes you as a burden.
I'm nobody. I don't have, I'm as if I don't have a family. That's why when I got saved, the children you see here, the teachers you see here, they're my family. As I'm speaking, when I die, I don't know where I'm going to be buried. That's why I need to struggle hard, get another place, because I gave out my house. I need to get a big plot whereby I can put that place, whereby I can build my house, put my family there. When I die, my children, my grandchildren, they have where to start from.
Who took you to school?
Who took me to school is my mom used to pay, but we were on and off. Most of the times they could send me. Yet she had money. I could go maybe in a term, maybe 1 week or a month. So it was really hard of struggle. Whereby my sister, they could give her a van. It is the school, they could take her, the escorts, but me, I could move because I remember when they came back here to Kampala, they were staying in Rubaga, and my stepfather was working in the army barracks that is in Rubiri, whereby they got for me a school. It is called Natete Memorial Primary School, Makai Memorial Primary School. It is deep in Natete there, whereby I could move from Wakariga, walk barefooted up to Natete. So that is the life I grew up in. Time reached, my mother was just away because my stepfather had women, so many women, wives. So I don't know what happened, but they had their own issues. Then they left me. My mother was forced to leave her marital home. Then she started struggling. So she was also forced to go to Kabalagala. She got a job and started working as a waitress in Capital Pub. I remember by then, I don't know whether Capital Pub is still there. Is it still existing? Capital Pub Kabalagala. It was a place known for prostitution by then, those years. So that's where she went.
And you stayed with her?
No, I didn't stay with her immediately. From my stepfather's place, I went and stayed in school because life became difficult for me. I went and stayed in school with the teachers until I finished my primary 7. So when I finished my primary 7 is when I joined my mother in Kabalagala. We were staying in Intinda. Okay. We were renting in Intinda while she was working in Kabalagala. So the life there was a little bit difficult. I was staying alone. She could come back at night around from midnight. She comes back with, on her coming back, she could come back with different men. Moreover, we were staying every night. Every night she has to come back with a different man. And it was one small room, whereby a single room, whereby one bed, and they were sleeping on the bed, and I was sleeping down. So everything that was taking place,
you could notice?
I could notice and I could hear. So you can just imagine that kind of torture. Even sometimes they could even fight. She could come, they do whatever they did, and she was left unpaid. So she could transfer that hunger on me the following day. So it was really a tug of war. So whenever she could look at me, most of the time she could beat me up, abuse me. Go back to your father. Go back to your father.
And you don't know the father?
I don't know the father. She has never showed me the father. But you could hear her say, everything you have, is it your father who has done it for you? You can just imagine. That's why with all those things, I grew up saying, I vowed, I'm like, God, I don't want what happened to me to happen to another child. Time reached when I remember I think I was in my senior 3. One time I got so violent, whereby I was like, I hated myself. I wanted to die. I remember I got a knife. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what came into me. Because I was tired of hearing, go to your father. Go to your father. As if everything that is happening, it is my father. So, but all the time you hear, your father this, your father that, your father this, your father that. Whereby parents, please just help us, do us a favor. Children are innocent. They don't know what happened between you and the father. But this lady kept on tormenting me. Time reached, I got a knife. I'm like, today, me and you, one has to survive. I got a knife. I got her like this. I remember that time.
Your mother? My
own mother. It is me who got the knife because I was tired and fed up, and I was bitter. You know, I was maltreated. Most of the time she could beat me up. Even eating food, I could not get satisfied. You eat food while she's complaining. It's me who was doing the whole work. So that day when I got a knife, it is the neighbors who came and
So what did you do with the knife?
I was going to strangle her. I was going to kill her. Then I also kill myself. That day.
So what saved the situation?
What saved the situation? The neighbor alarmed and people came and rescued us. So when they removed the knife from us,
so when they fought?
I did not fight. Okay. They removed me away from her, but she beat me up seriously. Then she chased me away with everything. She disowned me. She talked a lot of words. I mean, she cursed me. I was cursed. She removed her knicker, her clothes, and showed me. Is it Uganda say okukuna mira? So I don't know how you can say that in English. How is that called in English? But she did those things to me. And she told me, you go with the world. It will never be well with you. She, you know, in our culture, when the parent removes her clothes and does this stomach of mine, which bore you, that thing is bad. I remember it was a Friday when I went to my auntie's place. My auntie told me, on Sunday, we are going to church. So they took me. On that day, the gospel which was taught about in church was about Joseph. It was the story about Joseph.
So they were speaking directly to your heart.
They were speaking directly to my heart. And I was the Joseph on that day. I was deeply touched.
It's a very emotional story.
Yeah.
Imagining all the disagreements you had with your mother.
Yes.
To the extent that you wanted the two of you or one of you to die.
Exactly.
I see violence both sides.
Yeah.
Possibly your mother was a victim of gender-based violence.
Yes.
The same was transferred to you.
Exactly.
Now, telling me you have 4 children.
Yes.
Each with their own dad.
Yes.
How did that background of gender-based violence affect your life, affect the way you were raised?
Time reached. I had to go out to the world, to the street.
To survive.
To survive. Because time reached, my auntie went to the UK to follow up the husband. Then she left us with a friend. I was forced to rent my own room because I had nowhere to go. After my senior 6 vacation, I rented. I could be going out.
So before you're renting,
yes,
who paid for your education?
It was my auntie.
Oh, your auntie.
Yeah, after that violence that happened between me and my mom chased me and cursed me, and my auntie took me in. So that's how I started going out with different men, going out to do prostitution in order to get money for rent, you know. Yeah.
Was that the only option you had?
That was the only option by then. I had no any other option. I had no any other option.
Couldn't you possibly go to any restaurant, hotel, to look for any those small jobs? I mean,
it was difficult. Whereby those small jobs you're talking about, hotel, restaurants, it's all about technical know-how. You need some connections to get there. In this Uganda we are in right now, everything.
You didn't have any? I
didn't have any connection.
What does it mean to be a sex worker in Uganda?
What it means to be a sex worker in Uganda, like me, how I used to do it, I was a professional one. Yeah, we have professional ones and we have clean ones. The good thing I wasn't a dirty one. How?
Oh, there are 2 categories.
Exactly.
Professional and clean. And the rest?
I don't know how you can call it. How I used to do it, you just go in a restaurant. I could go in those big places, take a seat, buy myself something, sit, wait. You understand?
I see women do it.
Exactly.
I see girls do it.
Hey, you thought you go and advertise yourself.
That's commercial sex work.
Exactly. And we pay for it. You go in that place, you see those waitresses. Those waiters go in a place where they have hotels, rooms. You go to the receptionist. You know, the big guys, big men who go there, and they pass through those waiters, those receptionists. Do you have anyone?
Oh,
you understand?
I'm here for a service.
I'm here for. You understand?
Or there are also these people who check in the visitors.
Exactly.
Like, I need somebody to spend a night.
Exactly.
That's what you used to do.
Exactly.
And that's the professional.
Exactly. You go there. When she connects you, you give her percentage. So when you give her percentage, the more she connects you, she's also gaining. That's how I used to do it. You understand? Whenever there are meetings, like I could go in those big places. I could not go in the small places. Even time reached when I could even go to Mombasa. Like holidays, December, I could go there. I go to Kenya, I go there.
You'd go to Mombasa?
Go to Rwanda, go to Congo. I used to go there.
Still in hotels?
Still in hotels. South Sudan.
So how did you get in touch with the hotel managers or the receptionists?
Connection.
One client leads you to another?
Exactly. Like those expatriates, most especially in Congo and Sudan. Those expatriates.
I hear so many stories about those sex workers and how much men abuse them.
It depends.
How did you handle that?
Me, I thank God, I was friendly. And I was doing massage. So how I used to do it, I was a masseuse. I do massage, facial treatment, manicure, pedicure. I go, do my work. At the end of the day, I'm paid twice. I'm paid the other dip, and I'm paid the normal one. I keep my money.
Deep massage?
Yes.
So you do deep massage, then a man says, you can't go away.
Exactly. And I'm like, you pay me, you add on that. We talk.
Wasn't that a trap?
Whatever you call it. But I was doing business. And I was surviving.
Okay. Survival for the fittest.
Exactly.
What's your most terrifying story concerning all that kind of life you chose to survive?
The most terrifying story was, you know, when I went to South Sudan, by then there was money. That was, you remember the days of 2010-11, when before the war, during that time of war, people could go there. Many, I think most of the East Africans, you've heard of Ugandans, most of them that have got money in South Sudan. I told myself, this should be the last one. I'm going to Sudan. I have to come back with my own house, my own car, and my own business. I'm not leaving Sudan without those, because I'm tired of this way, that way. Because time reached when I got tired. I wanted really to settle with my children. One time, I was in some restaurant. It was an Ethiopian restaurant. I saw this old white guy, very old. The guy looked at me. I also looked at him. You know, we have signals. So the friend I was with was trying to take me away. I'm like, Gwe, I've seen something. I'm not leaving this place.
I've seen a client.
I've seen a client. Where are you taking me? Nanemerakuza was on my case. What I did, I took her back. I came back and met my client. I went there. We talked. I took his contact. He took mine. He told me, but that day we did not meet that night. He told me he was working with World Vision. He was an expatriate. He told me he's going to Nairobi. He's going to stay there for 1 week or for 3 days. But when he comes back, he will connect me. So when he came back, we connected. He was a very old guy and a little bit lame. But me, you know, in this prostitution thing, We don't look at your ugliness. We don't look at your disability. All I look at is
your money.
Your money.
How much you offer.
Exactly. Whether you're a baboon, whether you're what, I don't want. That was by then.
Actually, was it protected or you would go by what
Most
the client
of those
wants?
people, they don't want protection.
Why? Okay, it's what they want.
It's what they want. And we also pay for that.
So how safe were you?
How safe I was, we had tubes for liquid. You know, when you do that thing, when you're dry, you can easily contract AIDS. But you're very wet, you can't get any AIDS. I think that's what has made me survive up to date.
Okay, it's been a very, very long way you've come.
Yeah.
At what point did you say, let me sacrifice my home, let me take care of the needy, to change, to do something?
After South Sudan, I went and got my mother and removed her from rent. I told her to come and stay here.
You reconnected with your mother?
Yeah, I reconnected with my mother.
How did you reconcile?
How we reconciled, I could go once in a while and check her in her one-roomed house. Whenever I could have something, take for her like that. So life was so difficult for her. And after I got this big house, and I wanted really to go back and get work for capital. So I had to call her and my sister to come and stay here and take care of my children while I'm working that side. But I'd left here, that was almost 2 years and a half. That's when I received a phone call from one of the dealers. I don't know how he got my contact of Congo, asking me that I was among the people who got for you this plot. Your mother and sister are selling it off. So we wanted to know, because they've given
really
us
selling off the land.
Yes. Are you really selling off this house? Because we don't want our money to what?
To go to West.
To go to West. Because I'd left her with the land title. I left her with all my documents. So they wanted my signature. I was shocked. So when she left, because of what she did this time around, is when I said, is when I opened up the prayer altar, is when I started the ministry, is when I came back to God. After that, after when they had gone with everything.
Why did you choose to go into helping the orphans?
So why I chose that, after being taught in the church and being ministered to, I think that's when I started growing up spiritually. Okay. Is when I sat, I'm like, when I looked at these 5 children, I got...
Your children?
Yeah, my children,
yeah.
And the other children I was helping around. I saw them exactly going through
what you went through.
What I went through.
Okay.
Being with 4 children and one is a girl and she's the eldest, I didn't want that curse to follow her. Because I saw this thing, it started with my mother. Now I don't know where to me. So I saw
you had to break the chain.
So I was like, I had to break this chain. This thing has to stop on me. That's how I started.
The needy children are everywhere.
Yeah.
So where do we pick those children from, and do their parents approve?
Yeah, I get from the neighborhood. So these ones are the ones who bring another one. Most of the times people I could come. Even I have one time I got 3 children have been abandoned on the gate.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a young baby. I think, I don't know whether I showed him you last time. He's 1 year. He was abandoned on the gate. They started abandoning them. And me being a prominent person around, among the women counselors in this area, so even in the LOC, whenever children could get lost, they could announce, they could take them here, they could bring them here. That I'll let this one be here. In case the parent is seen, we shall direct them. So whenever I could hear in the police station there is a lost child, blah, 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 I could go and pick the child and bring.
So are you authorized to keep children here? Does the probation office know you?
Exactly. They know me, what I do. When I get them, the office here knows me.
Okay.
The police there knows me. Though I don't have the papers, but I report myself. So they know me. So anyone
and they support you.
And they just support in a way that if anyone comes claiming.
Where do you get the funds to support these children, to afford a meal every day, accommodation, clothing, medication?
Now, what happened, one day when I was still in church, there was a lady who came. She's called Grace Ichek Marie. She's a French-American lady. She had come to church, and it is me who hosted that lady. Okay. So when I hosted her in this house, she's a prophet. Kumbe God has showed her all my life. This lady, that lady. When God showed her her life,
your life,
my life, who I was, by then, I didn't know what kind of a call I had on myself. She got me with those children, with those 5 children. So what happened, one time when I was in the kitchen with her conversing, cooking, I asked her what my call was. She told me I'm an intercessor. So I told her, I know intercessors are prayerful people, but me, I'm not a prayerful people. I'm not that fasting. So how will it happen? She explained to me. So what she did, she took in my daughter. She could send us that money, $100 every month, times 200. She could support us with food, with the school fees. So I could make sure that I put those children in UPEs around, so that I can distribute that money to make sure that I support those children. Okay. So it went on growing like that. Then I also started making bricks. I make bricks. Then I sell those bricks. Then I get support. So that lady helps us. So even up to date.
She sends some money.
She sends some money.
Okay.
So we also put in that money, we pile it together, then we get help. So another thing she also did, she also went to talk to a certain group of people that are called the Global Prophetic Network in USA. So every month, they also send us $300.
Okay.
So right now, as I'm speaking, that lady, she's now a missionary. She's now settled in Kenya, but she no longer sends because of finance.
I see you have a school.
Yes.
This blackboard, I mean, the environment shows you operate a school.
Exactly.
From which level to which level?
From baby class to primary 7. Right now, as I'm speaking, we have candidates who are supposed to go to secondary school.
Is that the pioneer class, or you had previous candidates?
This is the first.
The first?
Yeah, they are the first. They are the pioneers. They are the first. So,
how many are they?
They are 11 candidates. So they have finished. So I'm now remaining with the others. But as I'm speaking, I don't know now. I don't know where to put them because I don't have enough funds.
To take them to secondary school?
To take them, to continue taking them to secondary school. So those people, the money they send is totally not enough at all because we have teachers.
So you have to get land from around, you lay bricks, you sell.
Exactly.
Then you get money to feed these children, medication, clothing, and the
medical
teachers.
And the teachers. But still it is struggle. As I'm speaking, 2 months, they're demanding us.
You haven't paid your teachers?
I haven't paid my teachers because this third term, we have been distracted by rain, whereby brick making is supposed to be done hot season so that they can get dry quickly. But ever since we started this term, it has been raining.
You can't make bricks.
So I can't make bricks. And some people have intentions. But me, I don't have any intention All I'm doing is ministry, is that I don't want what happened to me to follow up any other person. Cancel.
Does the community around support you?
The community around, yes, a little bit. Like when we're in the season of beans, people bring in beans. If it is season of cassava, you see someone comes in with cassava. Surely they do. Like food, that food which I've seen in the office. There is a Muslim lady. She has a company of polythene bags just up there. Moreover, she is a Muslim lady. So, one time, and that lady, I've been hearing so many good things about her. She has been helping the mosque there with the food. She has been helping with the workers with the food. So most of the times I could say, I wish this lady, I could get chance and talk to this. I told God, this lady, imagine the people she's supporting, they already have, because they have work there. But me, I have here children. Can't this lady support me with food?
God responded.
God responded. One time, 2 ladies came, like how you've come. They called me, they interviewed me, they talked to me. I told them what I've told you, what everything, my background and everything. Little did I know that I was talking to the president herself. They came, me, I didn't know that I was talking to the same lady. Then at the end of the day, I told her, how I wish you can help me. Take me to that lady. She has to know what is happening here.
What you do.
What I do. I'm genuine.
So you got assistance?
As I was escorting her to the vehicle, is when she told me, I'm Hajjat. I'm the lady you've been talking about. I fainted. How? Before she told me that, she told me every month, I'm going to be giving you food. She asked me, how many bags, how much food? I told her, the bags of posho, the beans, the rice, the sugar. So she told me, every month, I'm going to be doing that. And to tell you the truth, up to date, I think you've seen food. But remember, before she used to give us, we had never, a year can go months without us taking sugar. We could take porridge without sugar. Rice, it was a tug of war. But now she's the one assisting us with food,
sugar
and rice and beans. So general things concerning with the food, she's giving us food. And we make sure that that food, I make sure that that food takes us
through the entire month.
Through another month. And when she was leaving, she told me, all she wants is faithfulness. And I've been faithful. How I've kept my faith is by telling you the truth that the food is being covered.
Oh, thank you, Hajjat. What's her name?
She's called Hajjat Fatuma.
And the second name?
I don't know the second name.
Hajjat Fatuma, thank you so much.
She provides
so
for us.
how many children do you have here?
Here we have 50 children. But altogether there are 200 that we support. And all the 200, Hajjat feeds them. They have breakfast. They have, remember, the 150, they are day scholars.
Oh.
They eat. They drink.
You stay with the 50?
I stay the 50. The 50 I stay with are the total orphans. When you go and work, I send the boys to go and work. Now the P7s who have left the big boys, I send them to go and do minor jobs. So when they get the kasop, they come. Anything small, we eat together. So I teach them how to share. I teach them what I do is what I also want you to do to others. For us here, we are one family. The little we have is what we eat. We share.
It's a very, very wonderful initiative. It's a very wonderful calling you're doing. It's not about how much you have
Exactly.
to help another person.
Yes.
It's about the faith you have.
The faith.
It's about being compassionate.
Yes.
We want to appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
For impacting the lives of those children.
Thank you so much.
You never know where they would be without you.
Seriously.
We pray that you really get enough support.
Please.
We pray that we get other people like Hajjat Fatuma.
Yes.
To see that your vision comes to reality.
Yeah, the house. So this is the living room. Actually, it is our church. This is where we pray from. Yeah, it is a sitting room. It is a church. It is everything. This is where I pray from.
Your office as well.
Exactly, under the office as well, because we don't have enough. This is also another room where the girls sleep. As you can see, we don't have nets. It's not yet unfinished.
This space is so small.
Yeah, the space is so small. So they
How
sleep.
many occupy this bed, for example?
Wow, yeah, they sleep three like that, three like that. So even we have a problem here. We don't have glasses in the windows. So we put curtains whereby it's really dangerous whenever it rains, rain comes and disorganizes them. And young ones, we put them here.
Oh, those wet beds.
This is their room. So the big ones who don't sleep the other side. 5 of us, 4 children here. You find children falling here, playing in this water. So this is what we are going through. There's P2, that is P3, that is P4, that is P5. Then those the little ones, the nurseries, they study inside the house. Some in the garage, some in the prayer altar where you see that red carpet. Then others on the dining where that is that corridor where. So that is it. Where they keep their clothes, as you can see them there. And the boys, this is their dormitory here. When it reaches at night, we lay down the mattresses like this. Yeah. We lay down the mattresses here, the whole here, all of them here, even others down there. Yeah. So this is where the boys sleep. So if, like how we have seen those rooms, if we really get proper decors, the moment like here, when you put proper decors and proper beddings, they can really sleep good and also good nets. But why we keep on falling sick every now and then? Because we don't have proper beddings. The living environment. Yeah. We can't put their nets, you can see the beddings.
Our mother